everyone. There's a myth out there that high-performing elite executives or athletes are always mentally tough. The reality, though, is that many of us are just as nervous as anyone else. We get equally anxious about not meeting expectations, and our confidence levels can hit rock bottom, especially when we hit setbacks or major roadblocks. And for me, it's about recognizing that there are these emotions that we will inevitably go through. From, for example, one of denial, where we say, oh, that didn't happen, I'll just keep going, right? And how do we deal with that is we need to try to see what would we say to a third person? What would we say to another colleague or fellow athlete if they had faced that same setback? For example, an injury, what would they do about that? And see whether that applies to us. It's easy when we think of a third person rather than think about how it applies to us. The second emotion may be one of anger, and we get really frustrated and say, oh, why has it happened to me? Why now? I just don't have the time to deal with this. And it's important to process that anger by, first of all, just giving ourselves time to just vent it out with gusto and just let it out, let all that energy out instead of keeping it bottled up, because it's a genuine emotion that we feel. And the process of letting it out is a big part of just sort of coming to terms with that situation. Another emotion may be one of bargaining, where we try to say, oh, you know what, okay, that's a setback, but if I only put 20% more effort, I'm going to try to catch up and make up for lost time. And we have to be a bit careful, especially when it comes to injuries, because trying to do more too soon may actually aggravate the situation further. So we have to be a bit careful how we assess that situation. And having a third independent coach or expert is going to be very helpful. And lastly, there may also be an emotion of depression, where we get very sad about our situation. And there's a big difference between normal depression, which inevitably will pass through, or when it becomes very chronic. And that's where we really need to learn to reach out for help, while at the same time focusing on, when we feel stuck, what are the one or two things that we can do and check off our list so that we feel that there is an element of progress. And hopefully the last emotion is one of acceptance. And we're there.